Hello everybody and welcome to a quick tutorial on the topic of data tags. So in case you're familiar with data tags, I hope I don't need to explain you what those are. In case you aren't, please hold on for a sec because I'm going to explain you that in a little bit. But for those of you that do know what data tags are and in fact are looking for a nice list, I could say, of all data tags that you can work with, I've got you one. Yes, I created a text document which includes all the data tags that currently are in game, and I have basically put up the exact syntax on how to use every single data tag, and I've put a explanation for each of them, which took me quite some time to do. But it should definitely help you out when using data tags, for instance, when creating maps or mini games, whatever. Yeah, and you can download that text document, or if you prefer that, I have also created a Minecraft forums post with it, and there you can also just read through everything. And yeah, if you prefer that, you can do that, but if you don't, you can just download the text document. I'll try and do my best to update the Minecraft forums post, so in case you look for new data tags, you should definitely check out the Minecraft forums because I obviously have no way to update a text document. Yeah. So that is pretty much what is the point of this video. Just to share you this text document with all the data tags. It should be self-explanatory. I did my best to explain everything very thoroughly. So you should definitely be able to handle it. If not, if there are any problems or if you have any questions with data tags, of course, feel free to leave a comment asking the question. So that is that. But now to all of you that don't know much about data tags, what they are, what you can do with them, whatever. Basically, data tags are something very cool. It might be something quite repetitive and boring to work with, but right here I've set up some examples, and you'll see that those examples are pretty darn cool, and that means the things you can do with data tags are amazing, and there are a lot, unbelievably many things you can do with data tags. Yeah, but in in return, or yeah, in order to get those cool things, you'll have to do some boring command typing, but over time you get used to it. And with the text document, it should be much easier. So basically, data tags are where blocks, or not all blocks, basically tile entity blocks, as well as entities, store their information, their properties. So if you don't know what entities are basically everything that can move in Minecraft. So any kind of mob, items, yeah, boats, minecarts, those kind of things, the player, those are all entities. And tile entities are basically blocks you can interact with. For instance, command blocks, that's a tile entity. A repeater is a tile entity. A chest is a tile entity. Brewing stands, beacons, furnaces, all those kinds of things. All those things are tile entities. And they also store their information in data tags. Now, the cool thing is, using commands, you can actually detect certain data tags, and you can basically call them, or you can you can search for certain data tags in certain objects, or you can also set different data tags to objects when summoning or spawning them, or while they're already existing. So that is something pretty cool, and I'm going to show you, as said, some examples of that. So right here, if we press this button, we see Bad Piggy, and there we go. A piano, a big piano falls down and crushes the poor piggy. So how did I do that? Well, down here, first of all, you'll notice I have barrier blocks, and those barrier blocks down here are very crucial for the whole thing. But before we get to that, before we get to the falling piano, first of all, this command block here, it is a summon command block. It will summon a pig, as you can see. And I've set its health to 1, so that it will die when the piano falls down very easily. It has a custom name Bad Piggy, and its custom name visible tag is set to 1, so that the name is visible, even when not pointing your mouse pointer at the pig. And then over here, I have some more stuff. in fact, we have a lot of summon commands, and they summon falling sand entities. Now, falling sand, you know, from falling sand, obviously. Also falling gravel and falling anvils. That is also falling sand, just in a different camouflage, I could say. And you can camouflage the falling sand entity in whatever block you would like using the block tag of the falling sand entity. And here you can set the block you would like to have. You have to set the time to 1, the time tag. If you set it to 0, or if you leave it out, then the falling sand will basically despawn a tick after being summoned. Then you have to set hurt entities to 1 so that it will hurt the entities when dropping. And you have to set a certain fall hurt amount, which is basically what the fall height will be multiplied with in order to get the damage dealt when it lands on an entity, like the pig. So yeah, that's that. So basically we have a fence right here, which is this corner block right there. We have a wooden log right here, which makes the seat. Then we have a lot of barriers back here, and the second level just spawns at 1 block higher. And then we have stone brick stairs. That's simple as that. Okay, but now on to something almost as simple, and that is destroying that. Yeah, okay, so that just fills this entire area with air so that the piano disappears, right? This also is very simple here. In fact, what we get is a Terminator Sword. It has this custom name. It has a sharpness enchantment with level 20, which gives us 32 attack damage, which is quite a lot. And also has the lore shiny sword. So how did we get that? Very easy. We have a GIF command giving us a diamond sword with a display tag with the name set to Terminator and the lore set to a shiny sword. And also back here we have the enchantment tag. Very simple and easy. Right here we can test that out. We got a pig with a saddle readily on it. And if we hit that, it should be done with pretty easily. We just have the saddle tag set to 1 for that pig right there. Okay, right here we can spawn in a creeper head. And if we press this button, we can turn that creeper head one way around. And if we press this button, we can even make it a player head. And that is in fact my player head. And then we can turn that around as well. So how does it work? Again, pretty easy. We have a set block command in this case because we're setting a tile entity, which is handled as blocks. So we can't use the summon command. We have to use a set block. And we have the skull type set to 4, which is the type of the creeper head. And we set the rotation to 12. And that is basically ensuring that it looks this direction, faces this direction. And right here we have a command block which sets rotation to 12. And then back here we have one that sets it to 13, 14, 15, 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on until it goes back up to 12. This is how we can make the thing turn around. Yeah. And then right here we have another block data command. I've mentioned this. Block data is basically a command that allows you to change the data tags of already existing tile entities. So player heads are obviously also tile entities, otherwise they would not have any data tags. And the player heads can then be changed via the block data command. And we change it to 3, which is the player head type, and we set the extra type to 321 boom, which is my username, and that makes it look like that. Yeah, so that's pretty straightforward. Right here we have a simple kill command, which will just kill everything except for players. There we go. But that's not the point of this thing. In fact, we have another command block right here, and if we press that, we can see some goldfishes appearing. Yeah, very cool. You might have seen this already, but yeah, this is basically in a aquarium. Yeah, very cool. We have some goldfish or salmons. I'm not sure. What are they called? One sec. Yeah, those are clownfishes, right? Swimming around in there, so that's pretty nice. How does it work? You've already seen there are some squids involved, but we start off with an item which has the very certain age of minus 32,768. And this specific number has been set by Mojang. And if you set this number then the item will never ever despawn. Same goes for the pickup delay. We've set it to 32,767, and if you set it to this specific number, then the item will never be able to be picked up. And then back here we have basically the item itself. We have set it to the ID fish with a damage of 2, which makes it look like the clownfish, and a count of 1, or symbol. And then we have a riding tag, and back here we have the ID of the entity being ridden set to squid, so that the item is riding a squid, basically. And persistence required of the squid is set to 1, so that it will never despawn. And we have given the squid active effects with ID 14. That is the ID of the invisibility effect with a very long duration, and with ambient set to 1 so that you can't see the particles. Yeah, so that is how this works. Yeah, pretty cool, I think. Then we can kill those again. There we go. Okay, so now to something else. There we have a very handsome skeleton horse, also pretty darn cool. So we can ride it around, and as you can see, we cannot really leave this fence. You can very slightly see a thing going off the horse right there. I'm not sure if you can see it, but in fact this horse is leashed to this fence. Oops. It is kind of a visual glitch that appears when you summon the horse, so that you can't see the leash. But as soon as you log in and back, log out and back in, this leash will appear. But obviously it does work. You can see we can't escape the fence right here. It doesn't work. So how does it work? What command do we have? We have a summon command, obviously, summoning an entity horse. It actually has a custom rotation. If we just remove the horse, you can see that it will always spawn with face down. It always looks downwards, and it always faces this direction. And yeah, that is done using the rotation tag. We have the left-right rotation set to 360, which makes it look rightwards from our current point of view. And we have set its up-down rotation to 90, which is straight down. Minus 90 would be straight up. Then we have set its health to just 1, which should allow us to kill it with just our hands. There we go. And we've set it to type 4, which is the skeleton horse. I think 5 or 3, I'm not sure, is the zombie horse. Saddle is set to 1, so that we have it saddled. We have it leashed, and the leash, or the fence that is leashed to, is given with those coordinates. And also, I think, yeah, right in the middle here we have the custom name. Yeah. So then also we have, yeah, I missed that. We have a very high jump strength, or very good jump strength of this horse, and that is given by another data tag, which is the where do we have it? The attributes data tag, which sets the horse jump strength to a base of 2, which is more than it usually is. Not sure how exactly that is defined, but yeah, all that you will find explained in the document. Okay, so right here, what do we have? We have a chest, and we get a key, which is basically a lever that's been renamed. Now, might sound very simple, but if we place a chest and try to open it, you will notice we can't. This is something that has been added in a in the snapshot. It's been a while, a little while that this has been added, but few people actually know about it. In fact, you can lock chests or any other containers in game by giving them a lock data tag, and then you can give that lock data tag a name. And only if you have an item with that certain name, you will be able to open a container. In fact, the name that we have set is key. So only if I have this lever with the name key in my hand, I can open a chest. And now here's a real cool thing. We have a diamond sword readily inside this chest. And whenever I place it, you'll see that we get a new diamond sword. And that is very fancy because, yeah, basically it allows us to place or to get any tile entity with predefined data. So for instance, this command block, if I catch it via middle mouse click, you'll see that it has a +NBT tag on it. So if I place it down, you will see the command that is inside it. It's readily stored inside this item. And yeah, right here we can see what we did to the chest. Basically, we can use the block entity tag, which will include all the information about the tile entity. And there we have, first of all, the lock data tag, which is set to key. So that only if we have an item named key, we can open the chest. And we have our diamond sword readily placed in slot 4. And yeah, that's basically it. There you go. And then right here we have another give command, which gives us a lever with the name key. That's it. So, on to the next thing. Yeah, right there. You can quickly see it. We got a creeper being spawned back there, and that guy makes a pretty darn huge explosion. In fact, we have to reload the world. There you go. Pretty cool explosion. So what has happened? Well, we get a summon command, summoning a creeper, with a fuse of 1 so that it will explode immediately. And it's also ignited, of course, so that, yeah, it will actually explode, because if it isn't ignited, then it won't explode. And we've set the explosion radius to 15, and that's it. So that is spawned, explodes immediately, and that with a pretty cool explosion radius. In fact, 15 is actually 5 times as much, I think, as the regular, because I think the regular explosion radius is 3. So we have 15, and that's pretty cool. Yeah. So, one more last thing is this villager. We have him with a diamond sword and an emerald, and if we give him that, he will trade us a very cool enchanted sword with custom name and custom lore and sharpness 5, so that's pretty neat. Unfortunately, we have no emeralds, no diamond sword, so we can't do that, but we can still look at how we did this. We have a summon command, summoning a villager. Profession I set to 3, and career I've set to 2, and that is why he has the blacksmith apron, and why he also says weaponsmith up in the interface, as you can see. And then where do we have it? Yeah, right here we have the offers. We have, yeah, this is a bit of a weird data tag. We have to have the offers tag, and that opens up to the recipes tag. And then right in here, in each of the square brackets, we put in, or in the square brackets, we can put curly brackets, and in each of the curly brackets, we can set a trade. We have the buy option, which is the diamond sword that we have to give him. Then we have buy B, which is the second thing that is alternative that we have to give him. And then we have the sell option, which is what he will give us if we input the correct materials. And that is the diamond sword with the enchantment, the display name, enchanted sword, the lore, and yeah, that's it. So that's basically all of the examples I've got for you. I very much hope that you like them. I think they're pretty cool. So yeah, that's just for you guys that don't know exactly what data tags are, what you can do with them, and yeah, just to show you how cool they are. I think that's why those examples are good. Now, if you have any questions, and I'm very sure that there will be questions, because this is a very, it can be a very tough topic, please feel free to leave a comment. Of course, the text document and the Minecraft wiki post should be pretty much self-explanatory. Of course, I've made a very long description of everything, and it can be that you don't get the point of something or whatever, in which case you can just leave a comment. I'm always happy to answer any of your questions, so that's definitely not a problem. If you enjoyed this video, and if you found this helpful, and if you can, if it is helpful for you to have such an advice when doing minigames or adventure maps, anything like that, then I would of course appreciate if you left a like for me for this video. That is always nice to have. And if you're new, you might consider subscribing so that you're notified when I upload more of those videos, which surely is going to happen. And that is about it. So again, I thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you again in another video. Until then, have fun. Bye bye.